Well, today's Wednesday, it's the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason and plot. Well, today, Anita's obviously, it's Wednesday, so Anita's gone to the knitting, and well, I've just come for a little walk around Portals Nous. And here we are at the little beach we used to call home. And I wasn't expecting this, but it's still up and running and functioning completely. The little Chiringuito bar there. It looks really almost a semi-permanent setup there that they've got up. And the beds are here. The towels and the towels on the top. What are they doing there? I don't know. The sunbeds are out, and well, it looks like the Donna Hotel is actually still open. I don't know whether that will be staying open during the winter or not. A few little waves on the sea, which sound nice, but the sun's shining. Temperature 5th of November, 25 degrees today. 25 degrees. It's really lovely, isn't it? I can feel the sun on my back and feeling really pleasant. We've just had a really nice break over on the east coast, and I'm still processing videos from that. That's why this one isn't going out on the 5th of November. But we had a lovely time. Looks like we've got some new lampposts down here. I don't remember anything like that before. Very nice. This is actually the Plata España. So this is Portals Nous, Plata España. And in the past, when we used to live just up the road there. And during the fiesta time in August, they'd have big parties down here, make huge paellas, and it was always great fun. And this is the official Portals Nous beach. I know most people will think of the big beach next to the port as being the Portals Nous beach, but this is the one which is Portals Nous. It actually leads on to Bendinat, so just going beyond there, that's Bendinat. And this, which used to be a rather basic hotel, has now become a luxury 5-star, very expensive hotel. Much more expensive than the one we've been staying at on the east coast. Anyway, we had a lovely time. Some nice street art. I'm just going to do my little walk today. We've not got too much time because we've got an appointment this morning later on to go and have our flu injections. Flu here is called the grippe, and it's actually the grippe and COVID. I'm still not sure whether to have the COVID injection or not. The last one I had now, it's quite some time ago, it was when I was working, and it really made me feel quite ill, and I did go to work the next day, but for the whole day I was suffering. Anyway, I never had one after that, and I don't know whether I've had COVID or not, but I don't feel as though I've ever had COVID. Beautiful clear water, even though there's a few ripples on it. I've got no external microphone, I'm just using the one that's actually in the camera today because I've gone and lost it. I don't know where it is. Got a magnet on it, tends to stick to things, and it must have stuck to something, but I don't know what it stuck to or where it is. Anyway, I've ordered one, and Mr. Amazon man's supposed to be delivering it sometime today, so sound should be restored. I think the ship's going out on the horizon there. This path is really in need of some repair work. It's very uneven. There is a sign back there that tells you it's dangerous, so you're doing all of this at your own risk. But really, I think it's got worse since I was last here, like big potholes. And here we've got the bees as well, so I guess a lot of people are a bit worried about the bees, but there's a bee hive there. Which was, I think it's really nice to see them. And hopefully they can survive the winter. Not having much winter at the moment though. Angela coming next week, so I had a little adventures with her. Tree falling down there. It's well, it looks as if it's still alive. So you put a rope on there, so you've got a bit of a rope swing. Carry on up. As we're into November, we'll find as we go to different resorts now that places are either already closed up or are closing up. Where we were in Sakoma, most of the places were already closed, and the Mediterranean, which was the hotel across the road from us, that closed while we were there, and the hotel we were staying in is closing this coming weekend. So it will become very, very quiet. Calamillo will be a little bit busier. Calabona, very, very quiet. We were very impressed with the hotel, and well, I'm quite looking forward to going back there. Not sure when it'll be, but hopefully not too long. Beautiful. That house, big white house across there, has been there since we came to the island, and you just never see anyone there. Prickly pear. Prickly pears growing on them. I've not been very good at replying to messages, I'm afraid, over the last few days. I'm rather preoccupied with being on holiday. It's been nice. We'll try and catch up with some of them. Apologies if you've sent me something and I've not replied. That's it, we're up at the top now. And then looking down at what many people will suggest is the Portals Nous beach. This is a man-made beach actually. And didn't even exist when we came to the island in 1985. 40 years ago we arrived here. So the beach bar from down here is already gone. So this side things have changed. The one that's at the bottom here, not the one that's on the beach, the one that's on the beach on the sand is still there and it's still open, but the one that's got the landing area here, boats used to come to it, that's been taken down for this season, and I guess it will come back April, May time next year. Seems that it's just a little bit early next year, early in April, so when we were looking at talking to the people at the hotel, they were saying that the hotel closes this weekend, but then will open at the end of March, which is kind of early. Just looking at the waves crashing against the rocks, it's a bit choppy out there. And Portals. Some of the boats in there now will be settling down for the winter, they won't be moving again. Still quite a few people on the beach and in the sea. Some people swimming I can see, some paddling. We did actually get into the pool one day and it was cold, but quite surprisingly got used to it fairly quickly, and I had a bit of a swim. It didn't stay for very long though. Like a new sign, why don't you recycle? All the recycle bins there. Not sure why that is there. Maybe it's to do with the little beach bar. So this, all this cliff face is very unstable, and so unstable that they knew it when they were building the beach that they needed to stabilise it somehow, and they've done it with this mesh, these huge hooks into the ground and a big wire mesh that goes all over it. I think originally what they were hoping was that the vegetation would take over, and that's happened to some extent, but perhaps not as much as they would have liked. But it has worked to protect people below from falling rocks, which is one of the main intentions. I'm going to go up to the church. I don't have so much time today because of these injections. And then immediately after that we've got a lunch appointment. Having lunch with Honra and Marcia. So when we have the storms, the water comes gushing down here. See how it's made this little trench, and nothing's done about it. That'll just get deeper and deeper and eventually cause some other problems. There are some roots holding it a little bit. Here it's rock, but down there it's not rock. It's relatively soft, sandy material. This is a conglomerate, I think. It's quite steep, this bit of a climb. But once you get to the top, it's worth it. Not only have you got the views, the church, which is open most days. It's open now, you can go in there. It looks only a small church. A unique situation, overlooking the sea in such a privileged position. And then we've got some benches where you can sit, some are in the sun, some in the shade. And just enjoy this wonderful view. Must be lifeguards out today. There's actually two flags. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? There's a green and an orange. So just be careful, I think. That's the sign, because of the wind. And possibly some storms on the way, according to the weather forecast. Not sure when they're due to arrive or whether we'll actually get them. But probably, certainly in the mountains, is where they've been predicted. We're on the edge of the mountain, so we may or may not. While we were away, we were very lucky with the weather. There was a little bit of rain, but it was overnight, so it didn't really affect us at all. It was not too windy. Like today, this is ridiculously warm. Well, actually, I haven't got a lot of time, so I'm going to make my way up. If you're making your way down to this beach, just where that block is, in front of that block there's a white van with some steps that will take you down to the beach. That's one way of getting to it. You can get to it direct access from the port, so there is an access there, and of course from where it's coming from. There was the beach bar, the steps are there, and you can still go down there. That's the bell tolling for 11 o'clock. So I've got to get back to Anita by past, we said. So I'll slowly make my way down. Altar they use in the summer. They use this a lot during COVID. All this land obviously belongs to the church, and it's gated off here and gated off down below. It always has the gate open I've never seen that gate closed, but it looks like a fully functioning, relatively modern gate, which does have a lock. I never come in the evening, so maybe that's when they close it. This area always been a sporty sort of area, but it was really just a rough, almost a red ash sort of playing field here when we first came, and then they built this purpose-built building, proper footbito court, basketball, and then the children's playground just behind. But because we used to live in the village just here, this was somewhere I used to push the pushchairs. God, it's a long time ago. And this is the what used to be the American school. It's now King Richard. I'm just interested to come on this side to see what the progress is on the building work, which slowed down a lot. I thought during the summer, wow, I don't know if you can see through there, but there's actually building done. It's been a while since we've been here. This is a huge structure, so I'm not actually sure what it is, but there's big spaces down there. Right across from the school, and a lot of steel work going on. When we used to live here, there was quite a big house on this site. What they're building in its place looks twice the size. And none of the further down the road, I don't know what they're building there, but that looks very big too. New Pearls development. Something. Another crane right in front of us. This is the time of year when there's always a lot of building work going on, but the builders are saying they just can't find workers, and the issue is really they can't afford to pay the wages that people are demanding. And people need to demand high wages because they can't afford to live here, so it's a catch-22 situation. Secret garden closed, never reopened, so hopefully something will happen to that next year. That was rude. Never been to it. Rude. And we're up into the square. I'm not going to go through the village. I'm going to go down here. Mark. Just going past Chamelli's, which is where Anita and I sometimes go for a coffee or a breakfast, and I do know that Angela likes the breakfast there, so could could well be on our agenda. Ticket. Imperial Properties and then Lifestyle down below. There's the compass. Hardware store. Brilliant place. Wow, there's something I didn't know. When we lived in Portals Nous, just behind us, 100 metres away really, our Friday night ritual pretty much would be to walk down here. And we'd come to the opera, and we'd always be made extremely welcome. Well, it looks as though it's all changed now. It's going to be Mama's Pepper Pizza. Handily, it's got a car park across the road. In fact, we used to go to it before it was the opera, and it was really just a chicken and chips cafe then. That was in the very early days, part of the late 80s. So I could have gone down the very steep hill, but chosen to come down here where it's a little bit less steep. And on the other side there's actually the walkway. It's off there, but it goes all the way now to San Agustin. If you go in the other direction, you'll go to Palmanova and eventually to Magaluf and beyond. I'm staying on this side because there's some steps which will take me down. I can get back to the little beach. Where I'll be going down that road there, Avenida America. I've got these steps to go down first. Just at the top of Avenida America is where the bus stop is. It's a bus that will take you into Palma. And I used to use that bus to get to school before we had a car when we first came to live here. And would sometimes catch the bus there, sometimes catch it by the little beach. There used to be a bus that came through here. But just by that stop sign, if you can see that, there's a bar. It's called was called Bar Granada. And it closed a long time ago. 30 years ago, I guess. And it's been empty and derelict ever since. I find it unbelievable that something like that should close and the place just to remain empty and derelict. It's got to be a valuable piece of land if they've still got they could have a bar license there. It's right by a bus stop as well. another thing that disappeared is the hotel that was just here on the right. When you look at the piece of land now, I find it hard to believe that there was a hotel here, but this piece of land that was coming up to used to be a hotel. It's now just a little bit of green space. So, don't know if that was taken by the council. There used to be a hotel here. Well, I do remember that when you went to the hotel, to get into the hotel you had to go up the steps. And that makes sense because this is just rock here. So you went through the door, which was a bit about here, and then you were on like the first floor, and that's where the reception would be. Not sure how much use these benches get. Fairly new. I did used to live in this road, and these houses down here didn't exist then. Garages did. We used to use this garage here. Jorge was the mechanic man. We used to look after our car. But the white buildings in front, and that was not there at all. That was just an empty piece of ground which they built on. This is a one-way street. Cars come up. Houses on this side don't get any sun at all. Houses on this side do get the sun. One of them has a little railway system that gets you up there. Used to have. Take a look. Probably not in use anymore. Building here used to be a car rental. So the garage is where I used to store the cars. And now it's a restaurant. And we used to live here, right at the top of all of those steps, right at the very top there is where our house was. 75 steps we had to climb to get to it, and that was the only access up the steps. Everything had to be carried up. So we did live there for a few years, and then it became a bit too difficult with two little ones. And we moved into the middle of the village then. But it was a nice house while we were there. This is where the bus stop was. The bus stop was right down here. These buildings were all here. These are all new. And this used to be completely open to traffic. And this used to be the car park. The square was open as a car park. We closed it all off. Made this pedestrian area, which is really quite pretty now. There used to be there a cafe, again just a cheap and cheerful chicken and chips cafe. My main memory of it is they serve our food on stainless steel plates. But it was served us. We just come out of the house, we walk down, we have breakfast and lunch, and come down to the beach. This has all been remodeled here as well, because when we first came here, to get to the beach we'd go down a roundabout here, and there was a little jetty that went out. Boats could come up to the jetty. It's all been taken away. I was going to say the beach has been slightly extended, but I think with the storms we've had, some of the sand's got washed away. Always a fantastic place for snorkeling, both sides. And, lots of rocks, lots of fish, really nice. And then more recently they've built this little cafe. So lots and lots of fond memories of Portals Nous. It's sort of one of the places we still think of as home. It's time for me to go and pick Anita up, so thanks very much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing the next one, so bye for now. Bye.